So now we're going to talk about health of the environment. In the environment, what all is included? The family, the society, the nature and existence. We need to understand these. We need to understand what leads to harmony in the family, in the society, and in nature and existence. So is human being a part of a larger whole, or is it just an isolated entity? We asked this question earlier also. Any thoughts on this? Huh? Part of a larger whole. So if this is part of a larger whole, we need to find out what this larger whole is. So there are plants, there are trees, there is soil, there are other human beings. All of this is in the environment. So if we consider health in total, we have to consider all these. All of these have some impact on the health of the human being, and human being also has some impact on each of these. So we said human being is a part of a family, member of society, and part of this nature and existence. And in order to understand the harmony or health in the human being holistically, we have to understand health or harmony in the family, harmony in the society, and harmony in nature and existence. Do you think it makes a difference regarding the family? If there is harmony in the family or there is disharmony in the family, does it make a difference to your health? How does it make a difference? Any thoughts on that?
First and foremost, if there is disharmony in the family, we will be always in fear. And we will be in depression, and we will not be able to take any decision because fear is dominance, in dominance. So only harmony can make us, be effective in everything.
Anybody else wants to share anything?
Ma'am, it is not only in the family, it is a single human being. If I'm like in a bad mood, the next person, if I'm going to treat in a bad way, the same mood, obviously he is going to be affected or she is going to be affected, and it's going to be traveling to everyone. And being in a bad mood will definitely have an impact on the, it will be very strong compared to the positive or a happy mood. Even if we say a good morning, okay, for some time that happiness will be there. Idiot, can't you do this better? Immediately there is a whole, the whole set of students are traumatized actually. Even though I'm not pointing out on that person, everyone in the classroom will be now also everyone got alert. What is she saying? So I think it's not only in the family, ma'am, it's depending upon the
back.
Yes, sorry for that, very sorry. Very sorry. Sorry, very sorry. But I just wanted to tell that it impacts a lot, ma'am.
Yeah.
I would like to add, ma'am, point, what we show, what we reflect, that same emotion will come to us. If we reflect kindness, they also treat us kindness. If we are very angry, we are shout at them, they are seeing us like enemy. Basically what we reflect, we can get. What I am saying, some point, students, actions and reactions. Yeah.
Those words of wisdom are coming from information or experience? Very nice.
From my experience, ma'am, I can say it become a chain reaction. Whether it is in good way, I will carry forward for the throughout the day. If it is a right way, my starting of the day is good at my home, entire day I will be carrying the same. So it's like a chain reaction in both the ways, I can say.
Nice. So basically, we are all thinking about the same thing, that if there is disharmony in the family, it does have impact on me, my health. So if we see, we go home. Like I said, in the morning we all come in slowly. But the moment it is time for chutti, everybody is out in 2 minutes. Everybody wants to go home. So it's not the house you are going to. You are going to your home. House is just a shelter to protect the body. Home is the place where you live with your family members. You have a relationship with your family members. When this relationship is fulfilling, not just for you, but for all the family members, then there is harmony in the family. What is the connection to health? Huh? Stress.
You can shift the question to like marriage, family members. They can answer it very well.
So you will find that whenever there is an argument at home, whether it be with your spouse or with your parents or with the children or with anybody else at home, your siblings, if it's a joint family, other people in the home, what happens to you? How do you feel? Happy or unhappy? Unhappy. And then when you come here to work and then somebody says, "Good morning," you are ready to chew them up. What is so good about this morning? Useless. Isn't it? Now the reflection didn't happen because the inside disharmony was so strong. Do you feel alert, motivated and responsible, or do you feel dull, lazy and tired?
Dull, lazy, tired.
So anybody wants to show how you walk? If there is such a problem in the family, would you like to show? How do you walk if you have a fight in the family?
That's why I'm saying you can take example for like who marriage persons. They can easily explain now.
Why about the marriage person? We have always the problem or what?
No, ma'am. Like,
No, we are happy
problem.
that you people actually.
It's cute fight, not
No,
I'm saying
it's
a
not
harmful
like that.
fight.
No, since no, we are happy.
Yes, correct, ma'am.
Maybe he's saying that it's matured fight, I guess so, ma'am. அது மெச்சூர்ட் ஃபைட்டாக இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அந்த பண பிரச்சனை அதெல்லாம் பற்றி அவர் ஃபீல் பண்ணுறாருன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் பிரச்சனை. மேபி இஸ் நாட் இன் டு லவ் ஆல்சோ, ஐ திங்க் ஸோ.
Okay, we'll leave him. We'll not bother him now. It's okay. So, when such things happen, when these fights happen, do we try to resolve things with our family members or do we feel angry, resentful towards them? For some time resentful.
And be going on for women.
Take that.
For me, like if I fight with my father while studying in yeah. But while studying those days, like why I want to ask sorry, like the mistake was not made by me. Like I am considering the thought, but now I am feeling like it is kind of disharmony, like somewhat in my heart. So I will ask sorry. So I don't consider like if he beat me or scold me. So I will directly at the time itself I will ask sorry. Then I felt for that, because when we are taking that thing into long, it becomes the big problem. Yeah, that's what I am personally experienced. That's what this.
Very nice. So do we avoid talking to them? Do we feel sorry for ourselves? Do we do binge eating? Like everybody is always shouting at me. I am the one nobody bothers about. Then we go and eat some more. Yes.
From my experience, ma'am, before marriage actually, in my 12th grade, I had a fight with my sister. So I didn't even talk for 3-4 years. Like after marriage only, I started talking to her. I felt very bad how much time we have lost being at the same home. We didn't talk, but we separated. Now I feel bad whenever I think that. So for Darwin, even before marriage, that happened. After marriage, we started talking nicely. Every day I'll talk to her. Adala, Darwin only I'm saying.
It's okay. Now let's go forward. So all this does have an impact on the health of the body, isn't it? Now, in order to have fulfilling relationships, for every family member to have a fulfilling relationship, at least 1 or 2 people need to understand relationship. One is relationship is, it is already there. They are your father, your mother, your spouse, your children, your parents, or whoever, your aunts, uncles. Relationship is already there, you don't have to create it. But you do need to understand it. First of all, is the relationship with the self or the body? Self. Main decision maker is self. So, relationship is in oneself for the other self. There are feelings in relationship that we can all experience. To understand the relationship, we need to fundamentally understand these feelings, what we call values in relationship. Feelings in oneself for the other self. And when we fulfill these feelings from our side, evaluate them, make sure they reach we express them to the other, make sure they reach the other, then it can lead to mutual happiness. So what is naturally acceptable to us? Trust or mistrust? Trust. Respect or disrespect? Respect. Affection or jealousy? Gratitude or ingratitude? Love or hatred? So we'll talk about the feeling of trust today. Trust is considered the foundation value. If you don't have trust, then the relationship, forget about fulfillment, it will not move further. So first and foremost, the foundation value we have to talk about, trust. So what is this feeling of trust? Trust is to be assured. To be assured of what? To have this clarity that the other wants to make me happy and prosperous. I aspire to be happy and prosperous. When I feel assured that the other also wants to make me happy and prosperous, then I have trust in the other. So now we'll explore the feeling of trust between 2 people. You are one of those individuals. The other could be one of your family members or relative or good friend, but what we'll do here is, let's sit in partners of 2. Can we come together as 2s? Two people. Everybody find a partner. Anybody left without a partner? You are 3. We need 2. Anybody else is left without a partner? Now everybody has a partner, or is there anybody remaining single? No, he is with the not that way, not that way. For the class, for the session. Okay, so each of you ask the other person, or when you are answering this question, you can answer it for yourself. Right now you don't have to ask your partner. This is about our natural acceptance. Now I want to make myself always happy. Yes or no? Yes. Everybody yes, or somebody says no? Yes. We can put a tick mark. I want to make the other always happy.
Yes.
Yes. Tick mark. The other wants to make herself or himself always happy. Yes. The other wants to make me always happy.
No.
No.
They may think that I'm not happy with what they do, but if I think I want to be happy, I can be happy.
No, but does the other want to make you happy?
Not all the time.
Okay. Yeah. So we are getting some opinions. It depends on the other person. We don't know. So anyway, there is some discrepancy. We'll put question mark here.
It depends on us actually, ma'am. The way of acceptance. Actually, they also want us to be happy, but we are not convinced the way that. So it depends on us, I hope so.
Okay. So we'll go further. This was about our natural acceptance. Now let us see about our ability. Remember we said what our natural acceptance is what I really want to be, and my ability is what I am. So now about my ability, I am able to make myself always happy. So there is some question mark. Some are saying yes, some are saying no, some are not sure. I am able to make the other always happy? No. This is like a very big no. The other is able to make herself or himself always happy? Yes, no. Question mark. The other is able to make me always happy? So this side was our natural acceptance. This is about our ability or competence. Now, these same 8 questions you have to ask, you and your partner have to do this. We are groups of 2, right? So the same 8 questions, you and your partner have to now do this exercise with one another. You are I, the other is the person sitting next to you. So you can ask yourself about the other, you don't decide, let the others speak for themselves. Let's see what results we get. You can sit facing each other if you like, or whatever way you're comfortable. Let's do this exercise. Ari.
As of our answering all the questions, yes.
Huh?
All the questions, yes.
All the questions, the first 4 or all 8?
All 8.
All 8.
You are always able to make yourself happy.
Happy.
You are always able to make others also happy.
Happy. The other want to make himself also happy. Always Darwin.
Correct hai, but the ability you're talking about or natural acceptance you're talking about?
Natural acceptance.
So the first 4,
Yes,
not all 8. Yeah, so if you are one person, then the other is you.
Yeah.
When you are talking, then the other is him.
Him.
So now for both sides you got tick mark.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Everybody got this? No? What did you get? You and your partner, what happened?
Ma'am got yes, ma'am, for all 8 questions.
No, let's not go to 8. Let's go to 4. First 4.
Ma'am got all 4. The last
How
one
did
for
she
me.
get all 4?
Yes.
We are saying she is one person, you are the other person. So now when she says, I want to make myself always happy, that is a yes for her. I want to make the other always happy, that is also a yes for her. Now the other person is you. Now you say, you want to make yourself always happy?
Yes. Ma'am.
Yes. So for her it is the other, but that is you. So that is also a yes. The other wants to make me always happy. So would you want to make her always happy?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is also yes. This is all we had to do.
Okay, ma'am.
So now, for all of us, did we all get yes for the first 4 questions? Yes. The other side, I am able to make myself always happy. I am able to make the other always happy. Doubtful? Always. Always. Okay. Are you able to make the other always happy? No, you may be happy. I am asking about, are you able to make the other, you are fighting with your father. Then you are saying you are making the other always happy. How?
Then you should not fight.
So then always is not the answer, na?
Yes, ma'am. But right understanding is there, right? Even though there was fight. Yeah. For
Okay.
everyone also.
All right. So the other side you will find is questionable. Questionable for you also, questionable for the other also. Because when it comes to always, we may be finding that we may not always be able to make ourselves happy or make the other happy. So that means when we are doing this in pairs, we find that all these 4 should be tick marks and all of these 4 should be question mark. But why is it that we got question mark here? Why is it that we got question mark here instead of tick mark? Because when we did in pairs, we all got tick mark, we all got question mark. Now, how did we, when we did individually, why did we get question mark here?
Because humans are different characters, everyone has different abilities.
We'll see what happened. Because we are talking on, this is what happened. When I'm seeing my natural acceptance, I can see I want to make myself always happy, I want to make the other always happy. When I'm looking at the other person, I am seeing the other's behavior. I am not seeing their natural acceptance. They can neither make themselves always happy, nor are they able to make me always happy. And this double question mark, I am dragging it here and saying this is only problem. They don't want to make me happy. Can you see this? Makes sense? Any doubt in this?
Any example, ma'am?
Many examples will come. But basically, your natural acceptance you are seeing. The other, you are not looking at their natural acceptance, you are looking at their ability. But if you look at your ability is also no better. Now this, your interpretation of the ability, you thought it is their competence, their intention, their natural acceptance. And so you said that the other doesn't want to make me always happy. Is it making sense? We'll take examples of this.
Yes, ma'am. Like, ma'am, if I am thinking about me, I have some assurance that I am always okay, I am good. If it is coming to others, I am doubting the others. I am not believing them. So if it is coming to me, yes, I am giving the 100% assurance. If I am taking others as the reference, I am doubting their intention.
This is why we did the thing in pairs.
Okay, ma'am. I am
So
doubting.
then when you are sitting in pairs, the other, what you consider the other, for her you are that other.
Yes.
But in both cases, you both want to make yourself happy, make the other always happy. So it is positive for both. The tick mark should come for both. But when I am seeing myself, I am seeing my intention. I am pure, my natural acceptance is right. When I am seeing the other, I say I don't know. But I can see my natural acceptance. I am not looking at my ability. I am looking at my natural acceptance. But when I think of them, I am looking at their ability. Okay. That time they made me unhappy. That time they fought with me. No, they don't want to make me happy. They are not able to make me happy, or they don't want to make me happy. Those are two different things. But what I am seeing is their behavior, and on the basis of the behavior, I am saying that they don't want to make me happy. There the problem came. Okay? So what happens when we do that? If it is the other person, I say you broke the glass. If it happens with me, by mistake it happened. Happens? Yes. I come late to class and say, I would have been on time. This traffic jam is so bad, I just couldn't make it. Student comes late. You're strolling in nicely late as always. See the difference in tone, difference in the way we talk. Somewhere we are as if he wanted to come late. So, if the other makes a mistake even once, I doubt the intention. I think he makes mistakes intentionally. So many times I have heard from teachers say, it's okay, this UHV and all for teachers is okay, but students, they just don't want to listen. They don't want to read only. We are doubting the intention. We think they are making mistakes intentionally. So then we have a feeling of opposition for the other. We get irritated, we get angry. And I tell myself the other person is hopeless, useless. They cannot improve. But about myself, I think the glass broke by accident. Even if I make the same mistake 100 times, I don't doubt my intention. No, my intention, I wouldn't have made it fall. It just happened by accident. So it always is that I make mistakes by accident. So I have a feeling that I am a good person. I always do the right thing. If I feel I am doing right, will I try to improve myself? No. So I don't even try to improve my competence. Because I feel I am okay, the other is not okay. And what does the other think? Same thinking. Yeah. So I want him to improve, he wants me to improve. Nobody improves. This doubt on intention, this is a major reason for problems in relationship. So if this happens, I may not even speak to the other for days, like Shanmukh Priyaji was mentioning. 3 years she did not speak to her real sister. So we may have lost many good relationships like this. So now, if you have, supposing you have unconditional, continuous trust on intention of the other, and if the other is lacking competence, what will you do? You will try to improve his competence, get irritated, get angry, or have feeling of opposition. What will we do? Yes. So the condition was if we have unconditional, continuous trust on intention. So if I have continuous, unconditional trust on intention of the other, then I will not doubt his intention. Rather, he is not able to, I will try to help him out. But if my child is not able to do maths, I'll not shout and say, you don't want to do. I will say, okay, what is the problem? Let me try to help. So I'm going to try to improve the competence. So what happens when our students do the same thing? Are we behaving the same way with them? Or are we saying, somebody is trying to understand, they are not able to understand, so they are asking one another. And I as the teacher might shout and say, you want to disturb the class? Get out. Don't be in the class. You don't know this basic stuff? How did you come to this class? So, in this case, I will try to improve the competence of his competence, and I will also try to improve my competence, isn't it? So this if there is trust on intention, there will be response. Response means I will try to improve the competence. If I don't have trust on intention, if I am doubting the intention, then I will react. I might get irritated, I might get angry, I might have feeling of opposition. Now think about it. How many persons do you have trust on intention, on their natural acceptance, which is unconditional and continuous? That means in your relationship, never ever for even one moment did you get irritated or angry with them. How many people are there?
Impossible, ma'am. Impossible.
Lila, even if God is husband and wife, Parvati and Shiva, they always fight.
We leave them to fight. Let us talk about ourselves.
When it is for the Supreme itself, then what else? We are just human beings.
So this is what is fundamental. Trust on intention, this is the foundation of relationship. If this is not there,
Also, sometimes when we trust more, also fight comes. So we trust that they will do like this, then at the end of the day, they don't do like that, the expectation goes wrong, and once again we fight.
and then what happens? You give gift. We say sorry, we give gift. Does it resolve the problem? No.
Sorry, one sorry will resolve.
So you give gift. Sorry and sorry.
Sorry, if it is from my side, sorry. If it is from that side, sorry.
So we get the gift, we exchange gifts. It makes us happy for how long? So we give gift. For some time we feel good. After 2 days, same situation. I don't want this useless thing you gave. Every time you are fighting for no reason. I don't want anything. Now bigger gift will come. So we can get an idea of the state of our understanding about relationship. Feelings that are born out of understanding, those can be definite, can be unconditional, can be continuous. That possibility we must explore. Remember, we talked about we limit ourselves as human beings. The moment we say we are only human, of course we can't do this. Now we have decided that we can't do it, we won't even try, because now we think this is impossible for me. So at least keep the possibility open and see what happens. So eventually, when we see that we are talking about intention, and it is trust on intention that is what we are considering, then my intention is the same as the other person's intention. My natural acceptance is the same as the other person's natural acceptance. So then now this 4A will become tick mark. And I will see that the ability of the other is similar to mine. So when I evaluate the intention, I will only look at intention. I will not confuse this line. When I evaluate the ability, I will only evaluate the ability. And I will do this evaluation separately. What is the intention? What is the competence? So then, now when I talk about the other also, I will say glass broke by accident. Not that you broke the glass or you came late. What happened? Why are you late today? The other person will say, okay, come sit. Even if the other person makes the same mistake 100 times, I will be clear about his intention. I will know that the mistake is because of lack of competence, not a lack of intention. And then I will make effort to help him improve the competence with a feeling of affection, isn't it? About myself also, I will see that the glass broke by accident by me also. But even if I make a mistake once, of course I am clear about my intention. I know the mistake is due to lack of competence. Now I will make effort to improve my own competence. So on the one hand, I am not getting angry, irritated with the other. I can see that the other's intention is like mine. I can also see that not only is his competence lacking, my competence is also lacking. So I will make effort to improve my competence first, and with that I will try to help the other also improve his competence with feeling of affection. Sometimes when we take class may be very boring. Students don't understand and we get irritated. Why you can't understand such a simple thing? I'm saying again and again, you can't understand. Now we are getting irritated, we are getting angry. We are doubting the intention. But we can also think this way, that maybe if I take some other example, then it might help. So I can try other examples, other ways in explaining. You know, there was a small child who was trying to learn maths. And the older brother or somebody was trying to teach maths. She came with the question from school, and it was about whatever, 3 plus 3 makes 6. And she was not able to follow how it's happening. So he said, okay, here are 3 bananas. And here are 3 more bananas. She looked very confused. He said, what is the problem? No, our teacher taught us with oranges. I don't know about bananas. So you have to maybe try different examples that suit the other person if they are not able to understand. So trust on intention, this is the starting point for mutual development. How is it the starting point for mutual development? Because now I am working on myself, I am improving my competence, and because I am not getting irritated and angry, I am trying to help the other person also improve his or her competence. So when we get angry, we see the other as different from myself. I am not looking at the similarities, I am looking at the differences. And I perceive that whatever I wanted, that's not happening because of the other. So I am trying to teach the class, I am trying to get everybody to understand. That's my desire, that it should get completed, it should be done. Now this other person is not able to understand, And I am getting irritated because I feel he is coming in the way of my desire. I wanted to do this, he is not letting me do this. Now I am getting irritated and angry. And we know that we are assuming his lack of ability to be his lack of intention. And so we think that they don't want to make me happy. And we get angry. This doubt on intention makes me have feeling of opposition, anger, resentment, and I want the other to change. So any small incident that I think is unfavorable, it might trigger this irritation or anger in me. So what's the solution? Try to look at the similarity between myself and the other. Just like my natural acceptance is to be happy, make others happy, others' intention is also to make me happy and make himself happy. He is also like me, self and body. If the other is lacking in competence, I am also lacking in competence. This is all similar for himself and for me. So then, where is the problem? I am expecting something from him in terms of his competence, and that's not happening. So my expectation is maybe not realistic. Can I see that the other may not be able to fulfill my expectation? Supposing, now all of you speak Tamil. You also speak English. If I ran this workshop in Hindi, would you be able to follow everything? No. Now, if I ask questions and I am teaching in Hindi and I ask you to answer and you are not able to answer, if I assume that you don't want to learn, now I will start shouting. But I am not seeing that your competence is lacking in Hindi. So first I must find out what language you speak. So if there is a common language, because I don't speak Tamil, you don't speak Hindi, but we both speak English. So now we can run the workshop in English, and now there is no problem. So we always have to look at the competence rather than doubt the intention. First thing we go doubting the intention, and that's how the relationship can't move further. So I can have the feeling of trust in me, and I can see that the other's intention is same as my intention. I can also see that competence may be lacking for the other and for me. So then I start focusing on the strengths of the other, not just the weaknesses. And I'll be able to see that just like how it takes time for me to develop my competence, it will take time for the other also to develop their competence. So then I can redefine my expectations and become complementary to the other. I can help the other. So then the anger, irritation, opposition will come down in me. And I can relate to the other person in a very natural manner, in a very calm manner. And I can be able to help the other. So when we look at harmony in the family, now that we have looked at trust, the foundation value, a self that has feelings that are naturally acceptable is a healthy self, or a self in harmony. A self in harmony is not going to interfere with the harmony of the body. So the body can remain functioning in its normal state of harmony. And a healthy self will have feeling of self-regulation, so they can make a program for health of the body, keep the body also in good health. So a healthy human being is a healthy self or a self in harmony plus healthy body. On the other hand, an unhealthy self is a self that doesn't have naturally acceptable feelings. It is a self in disharmony, and this can interfere with the natural harmony of the body, will lead to disharmony in the body also. So this feeling of self-regulation will not be there. They don't take care of the health of the body. It disrupts the natural harmony of the body also, leading to an unhealthy body. So what would be a healthy family? A healthy family is one in which every human being in the family is healthy. That means every human being of the family has harmony in the self and harmony in the body. So what effort are we making for ourselves to be a healthy human being? Healthy self and healthy body. And what effort are we making for the health of our family members? Again, healthy self and healthy body. That effort we have to make. Are we making some effort? Some. Yes. Nice.
Ma'am, actually I'm in the process, like trying a lot, but I always believes like what we do, we will do, like no more expectations, what we get. So that's my point.
I would say there's no problem in having expectations which are realistic. Problem comes when our expectations are not met and we become unhappy.
That's why I don't have expectations.
You will have some expectation. You wish somebody good morning, you will expect they wish you back.
Okay.
But if they don't wish back, instead of getting unhappy, you can also think that maybe they didn't notice or they maybe didn't hear.
Okay.
Isn't it?
If it is once, they are not noticing. If it is regular, when we go to wish, we are about to wish them, they just bend down. So we from our side, we come to the conclusion that they don't want our wish. So we will stop wishing.
This may be our own assumption, isn't it? In some cultures and in some, say supposing it is a student, some students may have come from the tradition where you never look eye to eye in your teacher's face. So every time the teacher says something, they put their eyes down. That does not mean that they want to avoid us. That might mean
No,
that
ma'am,
they are
I'm
being...
not meaning
just one
anyone
second.
from other tradition,
second.
but our own.
Even our own tradition. So many people in SRM are coming from so many different backgrounds. Different cultural backgrounds, even within the country, different areas, different regions. So some children are brought up with that teaching that you don't look elders in the eyes. Be respectful. Look down. So that student might not want to look at your eyes because out of respect he is looking down. But if I don't understand that, I may assume he thinks I don't want to wish him, okay fine, I'll not wish him.
About your HOD is a concern, he is my family friend. Every day he is putting good morning and good night. Past 10 years, I never reply for good night, only good morning. But till we have a strong relationship. Yesterday I made a call, first he took the phone and attended and spoke for 15 minutes. Example, no expectation between him and myself.
that condition on the expectation should not be there. That I will become unhappy unless he does this. I will trust that person only if he gives me back my money. Otherwise, no trust. So, does that mean that we walk around with, not taking care of our belongings, leaving everything outside? Oh, we studied in class that you should trust everyone, so I can go to sleep with my doors open, nothing will happen, no problem. So you have trust on intention, but you also evaluate the competence. If the competence is lacking, then you have to take some precautions. So if you go in the train, you don't just leave your belongings over there and go down to the railway station and you're strolling and your purse is inside. You come back, purse is not there. They said to trust on intention, see what happened, I lost my purse. So competence also you have to evaluate. So anyway, coming back to this, I think it is getting time for our tea break or break for this. Let me just finish this. What is your role or participation in the health of your family? That you can decide. So there are two parts to it, the health of the self and the health of the body for every family member. For the self of every family member, if you as a healthy self have naturally acceptable feelings within yourself, that means you are calm, you are comfortable inside, now you will be able to interact with them in a calm manner. You will be able to take decisions properly. Similarly, if you are spending time with them, if you are communicating with them with a feeling of relationship, then it is possible that misunderstandings, like you were mentioning, can be cleared up. If we discuss things. We can also think of proposals, small proposals, to explore such feelings in ourselves and in others. And if we do the UHV workshop, we'll see this in much more detail. Here we are doing only a small part of it. Family discussions can be there regarding the purpose of the self. We never talk about purpose. Did you eat your breakfast? We ask the children. Did you do your homework? Did you brush your teeth? Come show me. Let me smell. But we can also talk to them about what is the purpose of our being here. Some children will start asking, and if they ask, that's very good. But from our side also, we can start putting small proposals. At least we can introduce small children to their natural acceptance. That even small children can follow. And if we put the proposal in small words that they can understand, they make right choices. Proposals for the health of the body of every family member. So we can set an example by taking care of the health of our body with feeling of self-regulation, so that we start working for a healthy body. Others in the family will see and they might get inspired or motivated to do the same thing. We can start looking at healthy food options and proposing incorporating them in the family intake. Like we were having discussion in the lunch time about papad. Papad with the food. That it is very tasty. But may not be so good. It's fried. So we can talk of other options. that let's talk to our spouse, to other family members. What if we have this instead of papad? This might be nice also. And like that we can introduce healthier options. We can have a daily routine in sync with nature and propose it for the families so that all family members can see the significance of waking up early, going to bed early, doing activities at the right time. We can incorporate togetherness in the daily routine with common healthy activities for the whole family. So at a time when the whole family is together, we can do some practices together, go for a walk together, do yoga together, do some activity where there is togetherness. So we are spending time and we are doing some healthy practice together. And of course, when it comes to home remedies, we can also be better informed and we can help others in the home also to be better informed about these home remedies. So this much we had to talk about. Any more questions or queries regarding this topic? At least try we can all do. Whether we get there or not, I'm not even asking that. At least try it. Yes.
I'm pessimistic. There was one movie in Tamil. So in that movie, one lady is a psychiatrist. So wife is a psychiatrist. Husband is doing some other work. So the psychiatrist doctor, she goes and every time she meets a patient and she comes up with some problems and she thinks that she should not fight with her husband. So every time he brings some problem, she's trying to be so nice to him. She's trying to be so, he's like one day he gets pissed off. You're not at all fighting with me. You have to pick up some fight with me. You have to be some small fights should be there between husband and wife. He says like that. So is that small fights are also needed, no ma'am? Sometimes.
I will ask you, do you get tired of a healthy body?
No.
No. Similarly, if you are calm and happy and no fights are there, I think you will be happy. Not that you will miss the fights.
Maybe there won't be anything to gossip to friends.
You can talk of more meaningful things. That doesn't have to stop the communication. Only thing is you will find better things to talk about.
We in somewhere in our tradition we don't talk about positive things, or I have these many houses, I have bought new car, like that we don't talk. I don't know why we always talk about negative things that catches like a fire.
That's what. So we all have our own what we call sanskars, the way we interpret things. Now, if supposing I start finding fault, like I said, you take a white piece of paper with a black dot. Where is the focus? On the black dot. But there's only one tiny dot. We forget about the whole paper which is white. And we keep trying to take out that dot. Why is this dot there? It's ruining the paper. We don't see that so much of the white paper is there. Only this dot is there. So our focus is always on what is not okay. But when we make that okay, our focus shifts to something else that is not okay. But we can change that. It is, in a way, a habit. Once we start looking at something more positive, we start looking at things positively. That also can be made into a sanskar. Some of us may have that sanskar already. Some of us, we can see that if it is not worthwhile for us, why to keep all that?
Then always positive. Me also positive. My husband also is positive. Too many positive, it will repel. So small negative also is fine. Because when Tata also says, if the line is straight line, your life is not there. in the ECG machine. So life has to have some kind of hurdles, some happiness, some anger. There you might gain more trust also. So it's a kalavai. What does I feel, ma'am?
Yeah, the point is we are consciousness. We are not the material. We are not positive and negative charge. So as the self, as the consciousness, we already have relationship with the other. If we don't understand that relationship, the relationship is still there. We only don't understand. So we have this feeling of opposition in us. That is bound to make us unhappy. If we understand that, then we will understand. What I mean by positive is not always excited, jumping and all that. Not that way. That I am calm, peaceful. With that peaceful state, I can interact with my spouse in a much better manner. I can teach my children worth teaching things. I need not have to shout at people. I need not have to go into disharmony to get something done. That's what I mean.
So it's not like imbalance we are talking about,
No,
right,
we are
ma'am?
talking of very much a balance.
Yes.
You know how many of us are from engineering background. What happens if you take a pendulum and swing it to one side?
It goes back.
It goes back and forth and back and forth.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is it stable?
When it's done, like
Center. That's what it is. When you are calm, peaceful, centered in yourself, then you are stable. If you go to one level of excitement, you are bound to go towards the other side
extreme.
into
Yes,
depression, and you keep swinging like this. Those what we call bipolar disorder, mood disorders. So in the olden days, many ladies, older ladies used to say, don't laugh so much, otherwise you will cry. Have you heard this?
yes.
Because that pendulum will swing from one side to the other side. It is bound to happen. It can't stay there for too long. They say no mood can stay for more than 2.5 days. It is bound to change, at most. So we don't want to keep shifting like this. We want to be stable. With that stability, we can do whatever we want. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
This is in the work atmosphere, ma'am. If we want to maintain some peace of mind, then we are supposed to maintain some kind of boundaries. That is talking about our personal life or about the family, like that way. If we do so, then colleagues, they come with the thing that she is always, she has some kind of attitude, so that she will not say, like that way. So I'm asking if I'm right, or if this should not be done.
See, we said 3 things are important for us to be happy. Right understanding, relationship, and physical facility. Now, where is our priority?
Yes, ma'am.
Between physical facility and relationship, if with relationship we are keeping physical facility in order, no problem.
Okay.
But if our focus is on physical facility and in the process we are ignoring the relationship, there is bound to be a problem in us and in others.
Yeah.
I will neither be fulfilled nor will I be able to make the other be fulfilled. So we have to watch out for that. That balance is required. The priority should be set in us.
Yes, ma'am.
Then whatever has to be done in the outside for the physical facility to be in order and the environment to be order, with that feeling of relationship, now we don't have to struggle by ourselves. With feeling of relationship, we can take the help of the others. With feeling of relationship, they will be willing to do. Okay. So, okay, we are done with our time. In fact, we have gone over time, I think. No? Yeah. Right time? Okay.
Ma'am, regarding a calm way of speaking, as you said, I am thinking that the calm way of speaking work in the family, but it is not working in the workplace, and it is not also working in the neighborhood. I feel that. And also, one more point I want to add, as an example in the workplace, the people who are speaking very calm and whatever they accept, they are loaded with more amount of work. And whoever speaks more and say no, they are loaded with minimum work. So this type of problem we are facing, who speaks very calm, that is the real happening in nowadays.
Yeah. So what I would say is, being calm doesn't mean to be walked all over. Being calm doesn't mean to be taken advantage of. Being calm just means that without getting angry or irritated, we have to try to discuss with the other, talk to the other and say, this is not possible for me. Instead of shouting and saying no, we can say that this is not possible for me. Maybe if 2-3 of us come together, then it may be possible. We can say the same things properly. Some of the best leaders are not the ones who shout and scream. They are the ones who are not even noticed as leaders, but they have huge following because they are at a relationship term with the other members, so that the others are eager to listen to them, to be with them, to be in their presence, and to take inspiration from them. So being calm doesn't mean that I will accept whatever nonsense anybody throws at me. I will definitely speak for myself, but without anger and irritation. That's what I mean.
But in the workplace, no one ready to listen, because everybody's motivation, the work to be completed. So first of all, other side, they are not ready to listen also. So then how we can talk and we can show the problem what we are facing, ma'am? That issue also is there.
Yeah, so see, sometimes it so happens that if the other doesn't have any kind of reassurance in me, then they don't want to listen. But if I am doing something for the benefit of others, if they see I am calm and I am also concerned about others, then they start listening. Slowly the tables will turn. But for that, the behavior from my side has to be the right kind of behavior. The feeling from my side has to be the right kind of feeling. Then they will slowly start responding. The other option is what? Even now, I may be doing all the work, but I am doing it with frustration, with anger. So even now I am doing it. What I am saying is that being calm, I can work on myself, and at the same time I can talk to the other, discuss with the other. Talk to them about how it is difficult for one person, but when all of us get together, we can do the same thing. Yes, I can get angry and irritated and get my job done maybe today. But in the long term, will it work? That is question mark. Also, I am developing that sanskar, that habit of getting angry. And soon it will become so strong a sanskar, even when I don't have to shout, I will be shouting. That is going to interfere with my happiness. It is going to interfere with the health of the body. It is going to interfere with the health of my family, because I started doing it at work, but then I follow through at home also. I start behaving the same way without realizing. So all those consequences are also there. So we have to be aware.